Hi, my name is John Wiggins and welcome to Dramatic Poetry Work. Today we have on the show an old friend, a colleague of mine who I've been working with and knowing for over 6 weeks. Well, actually about 10 years. Tell him. Kenneth B. Dozier. He's an actor, director, producer, and presently working on 2 or 3 projects. One is called Freshman Year, and the other one is called Foreclosure, and the third one is Accept. Okay, and today we're going to ask him a few questions about each one of those projects and for him to give us some background on him also. So we're going to leave the door wide open for Kenneth B. Dozier to enlighten you.
Well, welcome, John. Thanks for having me. Yes, you are my...
Welcome to my show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Welcome to your show. Even though I've been, need a job here anyway. But it's good to have you. It's good to be here.
Okay.
It's been some time since I've been on your show, and I've always enjoyed being a part. You are a friend of mine, a colleague, and all those great things that he said. He didn't say about the part where he owed me some money, but anyway, moving right along. Yes, I am working on a few projects.
Okay.
Right now, and just really wanted to get a little bit of information about what we're doing and what I'm all about. I just love acting.
Okay.
I love the craft. I love the work, and I love to really tell stories to audiences, to really get them involved, really help them think, to have them have fun, not only to entertain but sometimes to enlighten, to impact. So it's really something that I really enjoy, and I found my niche.
Okay, I see, because I can't seem to get a word in sideways. Now let me ask you this question. You're working on 3 projects as I mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Foreclosure, and Freshman Year, and Accept.
Yes.
Okay, you're starting those 3 projects for what reason?
Well, the reason is I wanted to help the community. I like doing subjects or stories that impact the community, and so the series that I'm doing now is called Community Checkup. It's stories that deal with issues that are plaguing or serious issues in the community. So Foreclosure deals with family, Freshman Year deals with youth, and Accept deals with young men. Okay. So those three issues, those particular groups in our community have certain issues that they are dealing with. And so these 3 plays kind of address those issues.
Okay, was there any particular reason why you decided to choose these 3 particular plays? And you were mentioning that you're doing it for the Community Checklist. What exactly is Community Checklist also? Community
Checklist is really just a series of, it's a theatrical series that, like I mentioned before, that specifically targets issues of different groups that are in the community. Family, and youth, and as well as young men. So as I researched and I began to look at what stories to tell, I read all of them. Some of them I saw live, Accept I saw live at the Black Theater Festival a couple of years ago. And so as I researched, I realized that, wow, this is something that the community of Nashville, where I live, needs to know. And so I do that, and I go out and I try to find the best people, actors in the community who can really help bring those stories to life.
Okay, so the first one, Freshman Year, let's say that one, is about 3 teenagers, female teenagers, in their first year, which is as freshmen in high school, and some of the things that they go through with for the very first time. Can you give us some insight on that, or just a brief synopsis of the story?
Sure. Freshman Year is written by K.T. Kieran, and it really deals with 3 young ladies who who go into high school, but they are struggling with making decisions as adult and being a child. And oftentimes when kids enter high school, they often are faced with peer pressure. They're faced with dating for the first time.
Right.
They're faced with sex,
Right.
drugs, and all those kinds of things. And so what's interesting about the play is not only does it bring out like those particular issues, but it also brings out how important the family is.
Okay.
And I learned this during the talkback sessions, because after each of these plays, there's a talkback session with the audience talking about the issues in the community and how this play brings those things out and gives us a platform to talk about it.
Okay.
So the thing that happened to me in freshman year, when I directed it for the first time and I did it and everything, and we put the play on, one of the things I never really thought about
What's that?
is that how important the mother and the father is. The play, when you read the play, it doesn't talk about that. But when people in the audience began to talk back, there were certain things that were mentioned in the play that hit them and made them realize the impact of their families. So for instance, there's a young man who stood up. And then this part is a very, very small part in freshman year, but he stood up after the play and he said, you know, how can you all help me connect with my dad? There's no father in the play. He said, my mother and father got a divorce, and since that point, he's been calling and trying to connect with his dad, but his dad won't call him back, won't spend any time. And the young man, come to find out afterwards, the young man's mother had told his youth director that he had been acting out in school and getting into a lot of trouble, and no one ever knew the reason why. But she felt like that was an answer, or at least something to get her started on helping him.
Right.
And so that was amazing to me. That the mention of a father in the play is so small, but yet to the audience, and to this young man in particular, it was so large. And so for that reason alone, I felt like the play freshman year is something that the community needs to see and needs to talk about, and really, really need to find solutions or help them some of the issues they may be dealing with their families.
Okay, and there were some other issues that the young ladies that were in the play that they had to deal with also, that was very powerful in this delivery also. And can you expound on those a little bit so that the audience who may be interested in would be interested in coming to see the play?
Yeah, I think that, you know, we sometimes just don't want to make the mistake of not paying attention to our children. And so the young lady in there is depressed. I mean, she's trying not to be. She's very smart. She's very academic. But for some reason, she finds it to be more important to her not to be known as a smart student.
But to just fit in.
Just to fit in and even be different. Her style is different. She wants to be different. She tries to talk different. So she's trying to do different things, but at the end of the day, she's depressed. And all she is acting out and saying to me, she's saying in her heart, you know, will somebody love me? Will somebody pay attention to me? And the other young lady is trying to be liked by everyone, trying to be the most popular person in school.
Right.
You know, so, you know, she wants to look good. She wants to do all these other things that are exterior.
Right.
But then she finds herself in a situation where life is interior.
Exactly.
And she has to deal with her interior. And so those are some of the dynamics that we have. So I just feel like this is a very wonderful play.
Okay, and this particular play was done at the Church of the Messiah.
Yes, Pastor Brian Williams and the Church of the Messiah family, thank you all for allowing us to be a part of your presentation. But he allowed us through the first 3 weeks of December. On Wednesday night, he decided to not have his Bible study. and to teach in a different way, and that is to through a theatrical platform with these plays. So we were able to do it at the Church of Messiah under the direction of Pastor Brian Williams.
When you had the talk back at the end of the play, what was the response like?
No, the response was tremendous. Our last crowd on our last show just the other night, it was just so amazing. I think one of the most amazing things is when the young lady from the healthcare profession stood up and said that she thanked us for having such a real play that deals with real issues. Nothing sugar-coated, but it's, you know, I like to do plays, as you well know, that are very, very true to form.
Right.
Not acting, but being.
Exactly.
Being in the moment and being what the authors who have written these stories have called us to be. And so, which is a live vessel, a person in that community. And so when she said that she was so, and I talked to her afterwards, and she said that she had been a medical professional in that same community when she first gotten here. And she don't realize how many young ladies and young men are coming to the medical facility with issues. Some of the same issues over and over again. And she said, they just need to know, and to have such a real play, to let young people know, let families know that these things are real. AIDS are real. Rape is real. Disease is real. All these things that are in the community are real.
True.
And there are people who are young and old dealing with these issues, but if we would just have some more knowledge or some kind of insight, somebody to tell us, you know, what not to do, what to look out for, it could probably really help our community. So she thanked us for having freshman year.
Okay, and you have another play that's going to be coming up, Accept.
Yes, my golden child. It's something I've been working on for a few years, and I saw Accept at the National Black Theater Festival in 2011. And wow, what a wonderful story. It's about two young men who are running away from the law, but for different reasons.
Okay.
And those reasons is what caused them to have dialogue that is so powerful, that'll change their lives. It'll change the lives of young people today, young men especially, who are urban, who are thugged out, who are just going down a path of repeated destruction.
So can you tell me what is the difference between the two characters?
Well, one is a slave, and the one is a modern day thug. And when these two meet each other, they begin to have dialogue, not knowing that they're in different time dispensations, but the dialogue that they have is so interesting, in that it allows one to see themselves as they are, and maybe think about why people died for what they did, for reasons back when they did, and what we are doing with the opportunities that we have for us today.
Okay.
And you'll find that a lot of young people may not be fully taking advantage of some of the opportunities that they have today that other people have died and sacrificed for in the past. Because it's always been said that if you don't know where you're from, you don't know where you're going. And so it's important to know your history, but it's told in such a way that it's not a history lesson. It's a lesson of who am I, what am I doing, and where am I going. And I think what happens at the end of Accept when I see it, and I've seen reviews of where it's been played at in New York and those kind of places, is that it allows young men to reevaluate where they are today in terms of where they're going to be tomorrow. And that's the most impactful thing. And I can't wait to get this show on the road.
Now, your other one was called Foreclosure, which I had an opportunity to party in. Which was really a good, very good play and very strong, which was talking about family love and how it can be taken for granted, how it can be assumed that the reason why the family is together is for this reason, materially, but when all that's the most important thing about family is family itself. Not money, not how much stuff you have, but what you have within your heart for each other. And it explains all that in such a way that the audience is completely unaware of or unsuspecting of how the story is going to go.
Yeah. That's the most interesting story, the one we can't talk about as much, and everyone must come and see. But John is right. It really deals with love. I mean, when you and the Bible talks about this, and this is my interpretation of it, is that Jesus summed everything up in love. It doesn't matter what the issues are or what has happened in the community. When you look at the root cause of everything, you'll find that if love is there, those things could never happen. And so, and I think that foreclosure just really thinks about, okay, do I really love my family? And then if I did, or do I love my parents or whatever, but if I did, would I do what I'm doing if I love them?
Right.
And so you have to really reevaluate yourself. And so it is an awesome play.
It is.
I mean, foreclosure, don't sleep on any of these plays, and don't sleep on foreclosure, and don't sleep on accept, and do not sleep on freshman year. All of these plays impact our community, and we at Kinney Playhouse Theater are so excited about bringing them to the Nashville community. And please support us as we move forward and bringing impacting stories for our community.
Okay, I look forward to being hopefully a part of each one of those in some shape, form, fashion.
I'm gonna let you play the little baby.
The little baby in the next one. Okay, big baby, huh? Okay. Okay, now let's go back, way back when Kenny Dozier was in his infantile stage of acting.
Wow.
When he was just becoming aware that this is where I really want to be. Can you go back way back and tell us about that?
Yeah, I know, because you was there. I guess, one day I did a play in the church. And there was a guy, actually, he had been there for a while, and I've been watching him over the years and going to his plays. And at that time, I was adult and married, and I didn't have a child yet, but he was doing plays, and I was watching him. And this one day, I just asked him. I said, "Hey, if you're ever doing a play again, let me. I wouldn't mind being a part of it." So some time had went past, and he came to me. He said, "Hey, excuse me, I'm be doing a production for the church, and I think I got a role for you." So I did the role, and really, just when I got out of the role, I just felt really good. When I was on stage, I just felt like at home. And having gone through college and different jobs or whatnot, I just knew during those times that I enjoyed them, but it wasn't necessarily what I wanted to do. I was doing what I was capable of doing,
right,
and things like that. But I can't say that it was like, what I wanted to do in life. Okay. And so when I got on stage, man, that feeling I had never had before. And I knew at that given point that this is what I wanted to do. And I actually prayed and asked God about it.
Right.
And so afterwards I went to work, and the young lady stopped me and she said, "What did you do for the holidays?" And I told her about the play. She said, I sit on the board of a theater organization, and I think you would be good at being an actor. Okay. And so about 10 months went past, and she emailed me about an audition. Having never auditioned, don't know what it was, didn't know what to look for, wasn't looking for it. Just going on with my life, and I actually had really forgotten about the theatrical experience. And so because I had no clue about pursuing it, I just enjoyed it at that time. And so she auditioned. She talked about the audition, and then I was convinced by my wife to go, and I was very reluctant about going because I had my son with me, and I was making excuses up, really.
Right.
I was making excuses up not to go, but I went to the audition, and lo and behold, John was the director of the production. I had never done anything outside of a church or anything, never even thought about it. And so this was something that was very, very new to me, didn't know anyone there. I went in there, and I read the script, and then I had to read it with another actress, at the time, and that was different. I never did anything like that. And then I was cast, and I have been on stage ever since.
And I must say that the audition, you kind of blew us away. You was hungry, and you were real, and you just really fit the role, and you took the character to another place where we didn't even foresee it going, and which was really great because you created a character that was in the play. That role was small, but you made it so much bigger. And there's always this, there was this director who I know very well who always say there are no small roles, there's only small actors. And you proved not to be a small actor. You made the role huge. And from that point on, you've only advanced in your acting. And you're seemingly not only doing well in acting, but now you're doing well in your producing and directing also. So you have really grown. You tried to.
Keep praying for me. Don't give up on me.
We won't do so. We won't do that at all. So tell us some more about your background. Where are you from?
I was born and raised in Detroit, Michigan. I'm the seventh of 7 children, and I graduated from I would say 2 universities. From Wilberforce University, where I did most of my undergrad, but my college that I studied my profession, which I have my degree in, which is engineering. It's from Florida A&M. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, I am a rattler.
Ooh.
Yes, yes. So I went there, and then immediately after college, I was my first job out of college was moving me around to different cities. I was an industrial sales rep. And then one of the cities they brought me to was Nashville, a place in which I was unfamiliar with. And I settled here in Nashville, got married and all that kind of stuff, and here I am, and that's my story.
Okay, so are you planning on moving forward even to a higher level with acting and directing and producing, and what do you see yourself in 5 years from now? Or
well, the goal is to do movies and to continue to do impacting stories, be it stage or camera. Our next goal this year, 2013, we'll be doing a movie coming up, in which I think the audience will really enjoy. We're coming out the gate hard. We're coming straight at you, just like we do when I do our productions. We're coming at you in such a way that it compels you to come and see what we're doing. So our goal is to be a full-fledged entertainment company, from full stage productions to sitcoms, as well as movies.
Okay, so what are some of the plays that the Kenny Playhouse production have been involved in?
We have done Crying Shame by Javon Johnson. We've done Waiting to End Hell. We've done August Wilson's Jitney, one which you were involved in. We appreciate that. We've done August Wilson's 7 Guitars. We've done August Wilson's Ma Rainey's Black Bottom. We've done some youth plays, Killing Me Softly. We did that. We did Amazing Grace. Just a whole gamut. I mean, we really are beginning to branch out and do more and more stories and finding just some wonderful actors and talents. So if anyone is interested in being an actor, myself did not go to school for acting, but I studied hard. And acting, as you know, is all about the work. As that director you referred to always quoted to us when we first started acting, that Michael L. Walker, by the way, but thank you, Michael L., for teaching us that acting is all about the work. So if you're willing to work hard, and I tell people all the time that when you say I'm going to play a role in a play or a movie or whatever, the requirements to do a good job is the same whether you have a job or not, or whether you're married or not. You have to put in the time.
Put in the time and the training for it.
And the training for it. So I pride myself on working really hard, and all the different actors that I've worked with, many of them have worked, most of them have worked really hard, especially on this production. I think The 3 productions that I'm working on right now, the cast are just superb. They work real hard. They have gotten their roles on, and they're still growing in their roles, and so I'm really proud of them.
That's really great. I'm glad that one, that I have opportunity to be a part of it, and one, that I had opportunity to audition you from the get-go, and looking forward to have an opportunity to work with you in the future. And so I do believe that we're getting real close to the end of the show. So I just want to thank you again for coming out and being a part of Dramatic Poetry Works. And the audience are looking forward to seeing you in the future. But if we want to be able to touch base with you, how would we do that?
Well, the easiest way to reach me is at my email. It's akennieplay@gmail.com. That's akennieplay@gmail.com. Or you can go to kennyplayhousetheater.com. And so those are 2 ways to reach me. Email is the best because I'm not always available, but if you put it on the email, I will get back with you, and I will have a history of it too. So Kennieplay, that's akennieplay@gmail.com.
Okay. Thank you again for being on the show.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me.
No problem. And I'll try to pay you money after the show.
You do love me so much.
And this is John Wiggins with Dramatic Poetry Works, and thank you for watching, and have a great day.
Bye.
I think I said that.
Bye.
Are you kidding? She said I can't date until I'm a junior. I'm telling her that I'm spending the night at your house, so don't ask, don't call, or anything.
But what if she...
I'm not gonna miss a chance like this, Amelia. I'll tell her that you and I got into a fight. Just play along in case she asks you anything about it later, okay?
You are so crazy.
Can you believe it? The star of the football team asked me out. My first date in high school.
Hey, there's Luna.
Great.
Oh, God, you scared me. Thought you were a teacher or something. Dang it. You just ruined a perfectly good cigarette. Sorry. You're new here, aren't you?
Oh no, I forgot my brush.
First day. Freshman?
Is it that obvious?
You want a cigarette?
Gross.
Okay.
Amelia?
It's okay. It's menthol. You want a drag?
No thanks. Amelia, coming?
Yeah, I'll be right there.